Welcome to Jollof and Fiction, home of African literature and stories, the kind that warm your heart like a fresh pot of jollof. Today, you're tuning into a recorded session of our online book discussion, so sit back, relax, and join the conversation. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hello, Nnamdi. I can see that you're with us, and we're so excited to have you here
Hello,
today.
thank you for having
Welcome.
me. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well. Please confirm that if you can hear me well.
Yes, I can.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know if you can tell, but I suppose you can tell. Majority of us are very excited. Per the celebration emojis. Anyways, without further ado, my name is Mokut, and I am hosting you on behalf of Jollof and Fiction Book Club. And we got to know you we got to know you through your book, A Meal is a Meal. And that was like, I believe I speak for most of us in the club. It was a very, very thrilling experience. And Barnabas decided we didn't just want to know you through the book. We wanted to know you in person. Hence why we have the privilege of, speaking with you or speaking to you today. So thank you for gracing us with your presence. Your professional life is centered on providing distinct voices, stories, names, and words for others. Yet, in your personal fiction, for the one we read and the ones like the shorter stories that have been published, your characters are mostly stripped of these like elements, the voices, the names. We just have to know your characters through very third person point of view, and they often lack names and fixed identities. Now, given these two contrasts, where do you find your authentic selves, like among, like between these two worlds, where you give other people's works a voice, a name, whilst most of your works are like nameless and behind and almost identified?
Okay, thanks for the question. Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that I appreciate the fact that the book club read my work and want to speak with me about my process. Secondly, in response to your question, I think when I'm working on my collections, I get like a mad rush of disparate ideas, and one way I can write at a pace that is both productive and decent for my output is by writing characters without giving them names. Because in my experience, I find that that can be something that makes me linger. I keep thinking of, okay, let me make a perfect, or let me find a perfect name for this character, or a perfect name for this city, or a perfect name for this company. And that can stall the process of writing. So I think from that, I just came into this thing of going with character anonymity. Um, I'll check it out. Thank you.
Yes, lovely, lovely flavors. Well, so I have one last question for you before I open the floor to uh, members of the book community to also speak to you. So you have said that a meal is a meal belongs to a larger body of work. So what are you working on right now? What's like after this debut? What should we be looking out for? looking forward to? What should we be expecting?
Okay. I have always been, and I think even my publishers talk about it, that my work is quite experimental, and it's not just in the way I want my books to be presented to the world. In the way I want my books to be presented to the world. I am doing right now a series of short stories. So after A Meal is a Meal, next we're expecting another collection of short stories, and it's basically Zemil tried to do, which is explore a primal theme, a theme that resonates with us on a very fundamental level. And I hope to do more and then afterwards I'm working on a series of novellas. So there's quite a number of things that will be happening. Moved from a short story collection to a novel. I think most times, or rather, in my experience, writers often look at the short story collection like it's a preamble to the novel. So they don't understand that to have it properly celebrated as a thing on its own and possibly as a body of work.
It's desperately, actually, desperately. We're hoping to be like in the very, very, very nearest future. Um, so the floor is open, guys. I would like to say that before you guys start, Nnamdi apparently loves the garden, and I this was a very genuinely pleasant information to find out. Like it actually tickled me a little bit. So do any one of us have anything to say? Ask. Please, if we do this, okay, Barnabas, if you have the floor.
All right, can you guys hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Nnamdi. Thank you so much for on your invitation and for joining us this night. I really do appreciate it. It goes a long way. I'd like to ask, because I believe this collection of short stories is very unique. I mean, it's quite rare to find a collection of short stories that is centered on food. And I've been meaning to ask, was there an experience in your life that made you realize there's more to food than what people think there is, and I want to tell that story because it was quite very unique and not regular, and which is something I like. So I'd just like to know, was there like an eureka moment where like I feel I should tell this story about food, and then somehow I know with short stories when you start one, the other one just seems to connect. But I just want to know if there was an experience in your life that where you had something you just felt, oh, I think people need to know this about food. You could just please share. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Barnabas, for your question. I hope we can all hear me.
Yes.
Okay. I think I did not particularly have a moment. It was more like a series of success. So the first story I wrote in this collection is A Meal is a Meal. And after I wrote A Meal is a Meal, I wrote Potluck Jollof. And both of those stories did quite well. And I felt the reception I had from those stories kind of prompted me to do more. And as I kept writing, I kept researching, I kept exploring, and then writing the book became like a journey for me. So even when I moved to the second collection, which I'm done with, and it's with my publishers right now, it was also that thing of you do one and it's actually decent, and that spurs you to do more.
right. Thank you very much. I don't know if at this point anyone has anything to say. I just have a quick rapid fire questions. Okay, anyone wants to say something? Go ahead.
Hello, good evening. Good evening, Namdi. I want to ask why you went with that direction, with that twist for Emily's Emil, because I didn't expect it to be gory. Yeah, that's why I want to ask, because what inspired the whole cannibalism yada yada? Because it was hard. I felt disgusted, to be honest, but it was a good read.
Yeah. So when I decided to write about food, I wanted to write about both the pleasures and the pain, both the mundane and the abomination, both the celebrations and the taboos. So, as much as I was interested in what food means to us, I also wanted to explore the kind of foods that we do not agree with. And I appreciate that it evoked that kind of response from you, because that was kind of the point. And I'm also someone who considers themselves first an entertainer. I know a lot of writers in my generation and even the generations before me are more maybe social commentators and political activists and people who have like specific agendas they want to promote through literature. And I may do that as a secondary, should I say, motive. But the first thing is I want to entertain the reader. I want the reader to be caught away from the world they live in and just for a moment feel that they have been entertained, they have been shocked, they have been surprised by these 10 pages of literature that they have just gone through. So, in essence, that was why I went in that direction. Thank you.
Lambert, you have the floor. Thank you so much, Nnamdi. Hi, Tehila.
Being now. Am I being heard now? Okay, yes, I am. Good evening, Nnamdi. Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed reading every single story in your book. There was no dull moment. It was so captivating. I would like to ask if someone could remind me the title of the story where the kids were to touch the woman's stomach and pray for her. So I would like to ask Nnamdi, if you were to finish that story, continue it, would you give her a safe and perfect delivery? Because it was refreshing. I think it was a contrast to the gory story. It was just nice to read a story. I was so apprehensive throughout. Yes, Sarah. Yes. I was so apprehensive, holding my breath. Oh my goodness, she's gonna fall down the stairs after cooking the porridge, and then they will say, "Oh, another child has got gone, and that one will come." But it was such a safe landing. If you were to finish it, would she give birth successfully? Just your random thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Especially for aura of things not going right. I think Sarah was a well placed story because it's turned that on its head. And I would say everything was left on the page. And belief existence and the things that happen in our lives. So, like I said, everything is left on the page, which means the way she believed that everything would go right is what was intended, and that is the story that is being told. So I would say yes.
Hi, Nnamdi. Hi Nambi, can you hear us? Because we stopped
Yes, I can
hearing.
hear you. I can hear you. Where did you stop
Okay.
hearing me?
You were describing the like how everything was left on the page for us to, decide.
Hello.
Um, yeah, hi. We can hear you briefly now.
Okay, where did you stop hearing me? Where should I continue?
You were mostly rounding up what you were saying, but you expressed that most of what you wrote for Sarah was left on the page.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying that everything was left on the page, and the story did go the way it's supposed to go, in the sense that because everything is on the page, what you felt that everything was going to happen happened.
All right, thank you so much, Nandi. We have 3 minutes to go, and I want to deeply apologize to every other person who had a question. We won't be taking any more questions.
Oh, don't worry, Mokus, you can take one from Light since you raised the hand before the
Okay,
next
all right
question.
then. Light, you can go. Okay.
Thank you. And hello, Namdi. I really enjoyed reading your book. And I heard you say that you are first an entertainer. And that's why I have this question. So, aside just the entertainment, I was wondering, are there social or political tidbits hidden beneath the horror, the gore, the drama, beneath all of those things? Like, were there political or social things to glean from it? Since, according to you, the first thing that you are is an entertainer, and respect, because I was entertained and I enjoyed myself. However, I thought while reading that there were lots of things that I could, how do I put this now? There are lots of things I could say, oh, this is why this was like this. But I want to know from your own end, did you play with some social, how do I put this question I'm trying to ask? Some social, um, is it rules? Is that it? I don't know. I don't know if I'm, ugh.
Can we hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I understand Light's question, and like I said, it's the first thing, but that does not mean that it's the only thing. Certain field, because sometimes when you have like social political agenda in your work, you may actually fail at passing across the message, or you may pass the message across and people may receive something else, right? There is that right? But from the entertainment taking the fall, that means for me, the writer, that I must nail that one. I must nail that aspect of the work being entertaining, right? And yeah, I would say that for this collection, there were some social themes that I tried to put forward. And I think in my next collection, there will be more political themes. However, that does not negate
Um, Hi Namdi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you now.
All right.
All right. Um, Light, has your question been answered?
Yes, it has.
All right, then thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nnamdi, for giving us the opportunity to commune with you. This has been very so satisfying. And I do want to say that one of my favorite stories was the story about the tangerine. And I was it was something that made me reminisce, because I do know that I have had ketchup. I had this ketchup when I was like 7 or 8 years old, and I had this ketchup as Ikoyi Club, and I have never tasted ketchup like that ever in my life again. So it was a great story. So thank you for giving us like things like that. Thank you for being somebody who can uplift the souls of many people across this nation and across the world. Thank you for your impact. Thank you for choosing to do this, because it is a choice. So we really do appreciate it. And thank you for taking time out of your day to come and talk to us, to entertain us. We do hope and we look forward to doing this again with you. And we look forward to, reading your next book when it comes out. Thank you so much, Nnamdi.
So I'm doing my best and always for communities like this. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can log out now, because we would like to just the community will take it a bit further, but because we decided to keep it at 30 minutes with you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for reading. Keep reading. Bye.
Hi guys. Good evening. If you have anything to say, honestly, I do feel you can say it now. It's like open house. Yeah, Light, you can go.
I just want to say 2 things. First, I really love how you hosted this. It was such a beautiful thing. That's the first part. The second part is I think you want to take a trip, hence liking the tangerine. That's all I want to say.
Girl, this tangerine thing made me feel like that guy was on marijuana or something. I won't even lie. But thank you so much too for your compliments. I do feel like he was drugged, honestly, because I too feel like I was probably drugged or overfed from that ketchup thing. Lambert, you can speak. Honestly, if you want to say something, I think you should just unmute yourself and speak. We have 25 more minutes to burn.
Thank you. Hey, it's me. One of the collection of stories that I cherish so much. In fact, when Nabas mentioned, I'm trying to remember who called for it in the group. So Nabas mentioned, oh, it's not readily available. I don't know how I got it. So when I heard that, I said, so I could lose this book any minute. I put it on my Google Drive. I sent it to my Telegram, saved messages. I put it on my both systems, both the one in the office and the one at home, because I didn't want to ever mistakenly lose the book, and they are cathedrals. And it's because of what Nnamdi said about, enjoying the book. To me, the metrics to which to measure a good book, I don't want you to just tell me that it is objective when I didn't enjoy it. What is objective about it? It's everybody knows if it's hard, if it's dense, if it's boring to read. But from the beginning to the end of Nnamdi's book, I didn't know when I finished it. I really enjoyed this book, and it's the first time after their cathedrals that I saw of stories, and I was almost spellbound till the end. I think that Nnamdi is a writer with very, very unique and intense potential. I feel like he's either holding back or he's not even there yet, because I'm in a haste to read his next work, and his next work he has a strong grasp on what he's doing. I enjoyed the book so much. I had to send it to my Google Drive right with their cathedral so I never miss it, and to be one that I'll be rereading. It just makes you see food in various lights. I think he did a very good job, and I wasn't expecting his voice to be like this at all. I imagined his voice to be close to Akan, another kind of boy, to be more lighter. And he wasn't sounding evil at all. His name is Nam. But in all, I really enjoyed the book.
Um, Kayla, valid point about his voice. I was expecting his voice. I don't know if you guys know this person, Weta Olubi. He generally looks like Weta, and Weta is so soft. Like I don't. He's the owner of the big shop, Lagos. Weta is soft and so soft spoken, but like in a very masculine type of way. Ah, sexy much. Anyways, I was very taken aback by his voice too, as well. Sorry, we haven't heard from our foreign counterparts, and let me see who's online. Samuel.
Please, we are here.
Oh yes, let's hear from you. Sally.
Yeah,
Hello.
so for me, I was just quiet throughout, but I enjoyed the discussion and the questions that were asked, and then the angles that were captured. And I just like the parts that he took us through his thought process. And yeah, it's very inspiring how he writes. And I also like the fact that his writing is so light-hearted. Like, it's not too heavy, not so many hidden themes and stuff. It's just the mundane. It's just the mundane. And then I like the fact that we were able to see food stand out through many themes. So through joy, through fear, through sadness and all. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sally. But I do feel like I want to disagree a bit with your point about it not being austere. The very first story we read had me wondering, like, left like the ending, the story about the lady who was emotionally detached from her husband. That particular story had me thinking, thought, you guys, this was the first time in a very long while that I had a full blown conversation with not one but two different artificial intelligence platforms. I had to confirm if like I wasn't overthinking, because you know how the story first of all shows that she was emotionally the power of art, right? That was the first story. You know how it showed that she was emotionally detached from her husband, and then showed why she was emotionally detached from her husband, and also showed the relationship, like the spiritual relationship she had with the small god. And then the very last part of the story also showed how she wished death on her husband's mistress. That was so weird. It genuinely took me aback, because why are you wishing death on the person who is genuinely not the cause of your problem? Why are you not wishing death on your husband? So yeah, that was a bit very austere to me. But yeah, again, reading is subjective. So, does any other person have anything to say?
I
Okay,
think I'm so sorry. I think that reading this book reminds me of reading Chimeka Garrick's A Broken People's Place. And the reason why is because it's topical. Like it has a theme rather. It's thematic. It's about food, yeah. And then this other one was about music. And if you listen to any of the songs that were on the playlist, I mean, for that other book, it was so in line with the stories that were told. And just like that, I mean, I read this A Meal is a Meal. I think I had to go and read it again because the author was going to come. And it is so good. And I think that it's beautiful when people are able to take a topic and make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories out of it. And I think for this book particularly, what struck me whilst I read was that each story was very different. Like, it was written by the same person, yeah, but it was very different in each story. The tone, the style, the lesson, if you can call it that, it was very different. And I think it was something that I really enjoyed about the book. I think I stopped. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Like, okay, if nobody else has something to say, Barnabas, I think you can wrap it up.
Thank you, Mokut. I really have anything to say. I really enjoyed today's discussion, and thank you for doing a great job hosting. I appreciate it. Well done. But I'm not sure if I'm being heard from audible. I didn't know if you heard me. Okay, thank you, everyone. You can all log out now. I appreciate it.
Don't forget to hit the follow button and tap on the notification icon to stay updated. That's all for today's episode. To join our book club or stay updated on future discussions, follow us on Instagram and X at Jollof Book Club, Jollof with a double F. And thank you so much for listening.